Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. The time has finally come. This is going to be the finale for my Pan That palette. I was on the fence about whether I wanted to film my December empties for today or my Pan That palette, but I actually think that I could have a couple more empties if I wait one more day. There are just some products that are so close to being gone. OMG. So we're doing the finale for Pan That Palette 2021 today. I cannot believe it. The year flew by. It went by very quickly. I have been panning a baby Pan That palette and a Pan That palette. My baby Pan That palette is a palette that has 5 pans or less. I really should change my criteria to 4 pans or less, but 5 pans or less is my current criteria, and that goes until it is finished. It is ongoing. There's no start date. Well, the start date is when I finish the previous baby Pan That palette, and it goes until I finish this baby Pan That palette, and then I pick a new one. Because over the years, I've collected a ridiculous amount of duos, trios, quads, I have more than most people. And a lot of them were like gifts with purchase and things like that, but I somehow I have a million of them and I need to work on them. So baby Pan That palette is the project for those little things. I've also been working on a Pan That palette project, which started on January 1st and ends tomorrow, and that was the theme Tiny Pans, which was a Pantastic Ladies collaboration theme. The Pantastic Ladies are a Facebook group, and we get together, and as a group we come up with projects and we share them with each other and we encourage each other. So I will leave a link to the Facebook group down below. If you're interested in joining, you are more than welcome to. There will be a few questions you have to answer first so that we can ensure you're not a robot. But if you're not a robot, you're more than welcome to join. That's the only criteria. Don't be a robot. As the theme implies, we were to pick a palette with tiny pans, and I thought I did that, but it turns out they weren't that tiny. But let's start with my baby Pan That palette first. I've been working on this little Smashbox sample duo from the Full Exposure palette. I think I received this in an Ipsy bag a million years ago. It's a really nice duo. I'm not even going to show you a picture from last month because it currently looks exactly the same as it did last month. I mentioned in last month's update that I would not be working on this during the month of December, and I didn't. I haven't touched this. Oh, there's little flakies in there. I haven't touched this at all during the month of December. I was focusing more on the transition shade in my Pan That palette and other shimmer shades, so this hasn't been touched at all. It looks exactly the same. Let's move on to my Tiny Pans palette. For the theme Tiny Pans, I thought I was going to be so smart and go with this cute little palette from Viseart, the Petite Pro 2. I thought I would have it finished by like September, October at the latest, and I would have 2 months to just play around with all my eyeshadows. Boy, was I wrong. These shadows are no joke. I did not work on this every single day. I tried. I was really consistent for the first 2 or 3 months, and then by April I started falling off the wagon, and there were days where I didn't use this at all. There were lots of days where I reached for this palette for only one shade instead of doing a complete eye look. So I have nobody to blame but myself once again for being in this situation. But now is the time that I like to throw in a little montage of the progress I made with this palette from January 1st until now. right, and here is where we ended up today. A couple of good things did happen with this palette over the past month. I did finally hit pan in this coral shade, which was one of my goals, and I hit side pan on this peachy shade right here. I do feel like I probably expanded my other 3 existing pans, this one, and this one, just a little bit. I've been using this one as like a face highlight almost every single day. I've been using this as a brow bone powder almost every single day. I did use this one once in the past month. I don't think I used these 2 at all. These 3 shades really got ignored, which I was not expecting at the beginning of the year, but that is what happened. I found myself reaching for the mattes to set up my eye look and then going with other shimmers that had a little bit more impact than any of these did. I just was not impressed with any of these shades down here. Despite that, I still want to get the Viseart Grand Pro Volume 2, that big one with all the shimmer shades. I still want that palette very bad, that one that costs like $300 or something. But yeah, I was not that impressed with any of these shades, and the only reason I got so much use out of this shade is because I multitasked it as a face powder or a cheek highlight or a blush topper, and that's why it got as much use as it did. So let's talk about plans for this palette. I don't know. The 3 pans that have the most use are this peachy shade, this brown shade, and the shimmery shade. I would like to find ways to pan them completely in the next year. I don't know if that's possible. The way I've been using this is as a brow powder. I've talked about this before, but I have a lot of brow products that have been getting ignored because I've been panning eyeshadows as brow products for the last couple of years. And I would like to get back to using up the brow products that I own and eventually go back to using powders, eyeshadows for brow products, because I do like that very much. But yeah, I have this graveyard of brow products just sitting there not getting used. So I think I'm going to go back to using a brow product in January that's actually meant for the brows. I don't know, that'll be weird, but I think I'm gonna try that. This has by far the most use, and I would love to pop this out and throw it in like a magnetic palette and get some more use out of it. And this one, I don't know what's gonna happen. I did put in a similar blush topper product into another project, and I haven't been using it because I was waiting for today. So now I'm gonna start working on that one. So this one I'm not gonna touch right away, but I would love to find ways to incorporate the shadows in this palette, either collectively as a whole or individually, into projects throughout the year and keep working on them. These are magnetic and they do kind of just pop out easily. I don't want to do that because I'll probably drop it on the floor, but we'll have to see. Maybe we'll see some of these pop back up into projects throughout the year. Generally, by the time the year is over, I'm ready for a little break from the palette that I've been working on, and I do feel that way. I never minded using it, and when I needed a break, I took a break from it. So I'm not like disgusted with this palette, but I want to be able to hit the ground running with my new Pan That palette for January for 2022. So I need to see how I can do with that for the next couple months, and then I'll see what else I can incorporate into my eyeshadow looks. And maybe this will be part of it and maybe it won't. I don't know. That is it though. That is my finale. I had a lot of fun panning this palette. I will be posting my introduction for Pan That Palette 2022 on January 1st. So in just a couple days, look out for that. And I'm excited. I'm excited for a new palette, a new challenge, a new mission. I say this every year, but I'm always ridiculously optimistic about what I can achieve. And I'm always wrong, but I'm still optimistic. I'm really excited for what I can accomplish this next year with a new Pan That palette. So yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.